So, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and not really liked the way you looked, or tried to find things that you didn't like about yourself, so you could be very nitpicky and very aggressive about what you want to change about your body? To some people, this is known as body dysmorphia, and it's something that plagues a lot of people in multiple different fashions of life. It's something that I kind of struggle with as myself. Today, I want to talk to you about what body dysmorphia looks like and kind of how it is for me and what it means for me and how we can have better dialogue in going about it and talking about ourselves in a positive way. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I have this written down on ChatGPT just so I can give you like the most accurate and most descriptive definition of body dysmorphia so that we kind of don't get it misconstrued. But ChatGPT says body dysmorphia is a mental health condition where a person becomes overly focused on perceived flaws in their appearance. Even if these flaws are minor or are noticeable to others, it can significantly impact self esteem, daily functioning, and overall quality of life. Common symptoms are obsessing over perceived flaws, constantly checking mirrors or avoiding them entirely, seeking reassurance from others about appearance, comparing oneself to others excessively, and engaging in repetitive behaviors like skin picking, grooming, or changing clothes often, feeling anxious, ashamed, or distressed about one's body. That was a lot to unpack. But I believe, to me, what body dysmorphia means is not really feeling comfortable ever in your own skin. You're always going to be able to find something, or always going to be able to nitpick and choose something that you don't like about yourself, and you apply it to your day-to-day life, and it kind of hinders you from going about life in a normal capacity. Normal looks different to everybody, so I kind of hesitated when I used the word normal, but normal to the general public. I kind of want to talk to you guys about like my experience with what it feels like, um, and kind of like take you through what my mind says about myself and how I kind of perceive myself after all this time. And we'll get straight into it. I want to say I started working out and started body like training when I was 16, 17 years old. So when I was roughly when I was in high school. And in high school, I never really fit into the crowd that I wanted to be in. Like there was this popular crowd scene that was in my high school, and I never really adapted to them. I was never able to be invited to those parties or invited to those hangouts or go to these things where everybody would congregate to. Um, and I took that very personal. I I always wanted to say that it was, for example, I had a gap in my teeth during these high school years, and I always said to myself, well, maybe if I didn't have this gap, people would accept me more. Maybe if I didn't have this gap, people would look at me differently and see me as one of the cool kids or one of the popular kids. Um, it was something that was constantly in my head for so long that there was something wrong with me, and that's why I wasn't able to achieve this status of being more or being accepted by others. When in reality, I had people that loved me all around me the entire time. I had friends and family that adored me for who I am and the person that I am today. But I didn't see that because I was so close to the problem. I was so close to the idea of why do these people not like me? Fast forward to now, 2024. I still struggle with this problem, but now I look at different areas in my life and I attest to the same problem. For example, whenever I get ready to film a TV show, I go on this master prep and I cut down weight to a certain weight where all my abs are showing, my jawline is defined, my cheekbones have no fat in them. Like I go so hard that I look like a completely different person. And during this time, I create this content. I create all my content around this time so that I can hold on to it and I can remember what I used to look like. But what I'm telling you, I would, in these moments, I would be chiseled. I would be cut down to a certain weight that made me look fantastic in my eyes. But one thing about that is that you can't hold on to that weight forever, because being at that body fat percentage is very hard to attain for a long period of time. And it's very stressful and painful on your body as well. So fast forward towards a little bit later part of 2024. I bulked and I wanted to get bigger and I wanted to gain more muscle. And so when it comes to gaining more muscle and getting bigger, you have to eat more. And when you eat more, you get bigger and you lose the definition in certain places, you know. And now, and at that point, I was now looking at old pictures of myself and old videos of myself, and I was like, man, these abs are kind of gone, or man, my cheeks are kind of big, or man, I feel puffy all around, you know. And as a content creator, it's like it's hard to not be at some kind of body fat percentage where your body fat's low so that you can have abs year round, because now you don't want to take your shirt off in certain settings, or now you don't want to do that photo shoot, or now you don't want to make that video. It kind of all comes full circle. And so what it looked like for me was I didn't feel comfortable creating the content. I didn't feel comfortable going outside. I didn't feel like going to the gym. I felt like I was a shell of what I used to be. Because I would always see these videos from a year ago or from the beginning of the year, and I was like, man, I miss this feeling. I miss this look. I miss this what I used to be. And you know that plays a hindrance on your mind more than anything. That really kind of sets you back in more ways than you think, because it kind of makes you feel like you're obsolete or you're incompetent with your new shape and frame and new body. And it's very hard to process. And I think I really put myself in a hole by not being able to give myself that chance, and you know, saying like there's a reason for the growth that I'm trying to endure. There's a reason why I'm putting myself through this growth phase so that I can come back and be a new version of what I used to be better than what I used to be. And again, it's right. It's like one of those things where I'm right here in front of the problem, and I'm so short sighted in this moment that I don't really come to terms with the fact that what I'm doing is still healthy and still okay. I in this social media content creation, like this whole Instagram, TikTok, it makes it very hard for you to not compare yourself or not be able to look at other people and kind of see that they live a different life than you, but you don't know what that situation really is. You know, it could be their videos from a year ago when they were cut down. They could be eating like this, but they could also be suffering from like a body I don't know what the word is. They could be I can't even figure out what the word is. So I'm just trying to change the subject. They can't like I don't know what's going on with that person, so I have there's no room for me to kind of say why can't I be like them? Why can't I do the things that they're doing? Um, I feel like at 25 years old, I shouldn't be having these problems. I feel like these problems should be something that you know I've grown out of or grown past. But as I get older, it's like these you never really get past them. You just learn to work with them. You learn to deal with them. You learn to manage them in a way that's healthy and helpful for you. And I turned 26 in 2 months, and you know it's crazy that I'm still kind of like being a student of this game. I've been doing this for quite some time. It's like you know I've been training for so long that it's hard to think any other way. You know, it's hard to think if you're not cut, you're not lean, you don't have the abs, nobody wants you. Um, but that's just not real. That's just not real. That's not an ideology that I want to carry anymore. And you know, I work so hard every day to kind of get past that mind frame and that mindset, because in reality, it's only going to slow you down. It's only going to bring you down. It's you know it's dangerous to kind of keep yourself in that state of mind, because you're never going to be able to see the joy and beauty that's already blessed within your life. Um, yeah, that was crazy. But that's kind of my personal anecdote with it, and I'm going to talk to you guys about now how ChatGPT says you should learn and move past this phase or this conundrum of body dysmorphia. All right, so now the what's it called? ChatGPT says that you should. They give me 5 options of what you can do to kind of solve and cope with your body dysmorphia. Here is number 1. Seek professional help. Therapy, which is extremely expensive. Um, Cognitive behavioral therapy helps address thought patterns and behaviors. I'm gonna be honest with you, therapy isn't the cheapest thing in the world. I know there's things like BetterHelp that helps you get to therapy in a cheaper way. But let's just be honest, therapy is expensive. I personally know I want to do it in the future, but I don't allocate the funds to make that possible now. Therefore, I'm going to have the funds to make that a priority later. Medication may be recommended for anxiety and obsessive thoughts. I've also come in encounter with people that have taken medication for body dysmorphia, and it I don't want to say it changes them, but they aren't the person that I know they are to be sometimes. But that's not the case for everybody. It's not the case for everybody. Practice self-compassion. Focus on what your body can do rather than how it looks, and treat yourself with the kindness that you would show a loved one. That is something that I can get behind. I can actually get behind this. Um, Focus on what your body can do rather than how it looks. One of my best friends is quadriplegic, and every day whenever I sit down at the house or I complain or I get lazy, I think to myself, I say, what would Isaac do in this moment? How could I feel like I let him down by not going 100% every day in some category or some fashion. So when it says like focus on what your body can do, I'm blessed to get up and be able to walk and talk every single day. And there's some people that aren't able to do that, and I think it's disrespectful to the people that have come before us and that aren't able to do the things that we do. It's disrespectful to them to not go 100% kind of every day. That's kind of my philosophy that I've taken for a long time. So that is something I can kind of get behind. Sorry, my allergies are getting kind of nuts out of nowhere. Reduce comparison. Limit time on social media, as I said, or unfollow accounts that make you feel insecure. Remember, editing or filtered images rarely reflect reality. That's what I was kind of trying to get at. I was like, reality can be so different for so many people, but how do you go about it? Why do you keep looking at them and wishing that was you? I'm better with this compared to in the beginning of my social media days. I used to struggle with this immensely, but we're way back and we're way better than what we used to be. But I'm saying this to somebody that is just starting at trying to get better with their body dysmorphia. Unfollow. Like unfollow that person that you see that you constantly compare yourself to. I promise you, their life isn't as sunshine as rainbows as you think it is. Like they're living a life just like how you are, but they only get to showcase the good side. But you don't know their bad side. You don't know what it's really like to see the other side of the camera and what they have to do when the camera light is turned off. So definitely try and limit time on social media as much as you possibly can. Try and allocate time and hours. If this is your job, absolutely try and allocate time and hours. Like there's days where I won't even touch it. I'll post at 9 o'clock in the morning and I won't touch it for the rest of the day. Like there's times where you have to kind of allocate being better for yourself. And that's what I'm trying to get better at doing. That's just what it is. Develop healthy habits, regular exercise. That's all I do every day. And adequate sleep and I need to an adequate sleep improve mental health and body confidence. Get more sleep. I get like 6 to 7 hours of sleep a day, and that is just unacceptable. I need to get like 7 to 8 hours minimum. I just gotta get better at that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Engage in hobbies that make you feel fulfilled and shift focus away from appearance. I like that as well. And talk to supportive people. Share how you're feeling with trusted friends, family, or support groups. Opening up can reduce feelings of isolation. One thing about body dysmorphia is it's very isolating. It makes you feel like you're very alone in this race and you're very alone in this feeling. And that's usually never the case. You're never really like technically alone. Because you're like, think about it. When are you ever really alone in life? Like there's people always around you. But if you isolate yourself with your feelings and your emotions, then it's going to feel very isolating. Like body dysmorphia is going to feel very isolating. I think what ChatGPT just spit out was actually really helpful. Some things more than not, but overall, it kind of starts with you. If you don't take that first step forward and want to make a change about how you perceive yourself and how you're perceiving your life, um, then it's gonna seem like a marathon. It's gonna seem like a never-ending marathon. But um, the first step is really just kind of realizing that, hey, like this is a problem that I have, but this is a problem I can get past. Um, and what are you gonna do to get past it? What small or big changes are you gonna make in your life to move past the feeling of not being good enough? Because that's not a feeling that we should share in our life. Especially with all the blessings that have been bestowed upon us. There's so much more to that feeling. Um, so that's it. I can't even finish. I can't even speak. That's it for me today. I'm gonna try and speak on YouTube a lot more often. I'm gonna try and get back to creating and using my voice as much as I possibly can. I've been lacking in that department, but I will say I'm back. I'm really excited to kind of embark on this journey. I'm gonna try and post at least 1 or 2 videos a week, just talking about just that stuff, man. Just talking about that talk. Um, but I love you guys. I'm here for you guys. And thank you for listening. That's a good way to end it. Yeah.